and Drake and A Weeknd and all that shit.
Okay, so The Weeknd, by the way, is my dream fuck. He's my hall pass. Like, I have tried so hard to slide into The Weeknd's DMs, and normally that works for me. He doesn't even read my messages. I'm obsessed with him.
What if he's like T-Pain and doesn't have the verified thing?
Yeah.
Don't get me started on fucking T-Pain, okay?
Welcome to the Kevin Clancy Show. I've been in this game over a decade, and I knew I needed a place where I could run wild on my own solo podcast, where I tell personal stories, I deep dive into conspiracy theories, we rip through the current events of the day, and we do sit-down conversations with the most interesting people on the internet. Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss an episode. What's up, you mutts? It's another episode of the Kevin Clancy Show. It's the Spike Tour Phase 3, Episode 8. Today's guest on the show is Pornhub Aria. You know her as the hot chick who runs the social media for Pornhub that you thought was a porn star when you first started following, and then you were sorely mistaken and very upset to learn that she doesn't do porn, and that she's just a hot chick running the social media account, but has built Pornhub from just a porn website into the new Playboy, the new brand, if you will, of sex. And so she's on the show today to talk about all things internet, all things porn, John Mayer, the works. Very good interview with her. We've been sitting on it for a while because Pornhub has been terrified for me to air this interview for some fucking reason. They're convinced they're going to get bad press, but hey, you know, Pornhub and Barstool, we're in the mud together. So let's not, beggars can't be choosers here. So great interview with her coming up. Before we do that, I got my bones to pick. So last couple episodes of the year. And if you got, my mantra, if you got hate in your heart, let it out. So today's bones to pick are brought to you by 3Chi. As we wrap up 2021, my bone to pick, I have two, and both are very apropos for the year 2021. I'll start with this dude on Twitter, because if I had to sum up these two bones to pick, I think are the number one story of the year and the number one message of the year, if you will. And I'll begin with the message. And that is, fuck anybody and everybody who takes things to the extremes. If you live in the extreme left or the extreme right, I fucking hate you. If you live in the extreme, I don't get the vax or the booster or tested, I hate you. If you live in the extreme on the other side, that you need to wear a mask in the shower and a mask in the car, and you got to keep your babies inside a bubble and all that shit, I fucking hate you. Anybody, and this has been this way since the beginning of time. Everyone in your life who took an opinion or a lifestyle or a like or a dislike or whatever to the extreme, we fucking hate those people. And now that we have the world of social media and everything is so interconnected, we just see more of it, and it's on display for us to see these people and fucking hate these people. And where I come in and where Barstool comes in is usually we end up in the middle getting hate from both sides. And that's so my bone to pick here is kind of twofold. It dates back to a couple weeks ago when I got involved with the Rittenhouse Brigade. The Kyle Rittenhouse stans are some of the worst people on the planet Earth. I genuinely mean that. If you idolize Kyle Rittenhouse because he got himself involved in an altercation where he ended up killing two people and now it has become a political hero, if you idolize that kid, you are a fucking asshole. That has nothing to do with your politics. That has nothing to do with who you vote for. Nothing. I'm not speaking on that. I'm speaking about you, how you view that kid. If you look up to him, if you as an adult person, as a grown man or woman, look at him and you're like, oh, wow, Kyle is the man, you are a fucking loser. And that's not even necessarily a knock on Kyle Rittenhouse. It's just because he's a normal fucking person who got himself involved in a horrific situation by being crazy, reckless, and gung-ho and wild. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to own guns. I'm not saying he wasn't defending himself. I'm not saying he deserves to be in jail. I believe in the verdict. I believe that he deserved to defend himself. All of that, absolutely true. That doesn't mean that I would ever put the kid on a pedestal and idolize him. He's doing this media tour where, like, I saw him coming out on stage at some event and they were like flashing his name with sparklers, like he was buying bottles in the club, and people were chanting his name. I was like, who are these fucking losers who idolize this kid just because he owns guns, or just because he defended himself in a riot or a protest against what you believe? Like the fact that it takes so little for people to be idolized and turned into some sort of public figure hero now. I think that you're a fucking loser if you do that to anybody. If you idolize an athlete that much, a celebrity that much, a political figure, or in this case, just a random kid who fucking shot a couple people defending himself in a riot. I don't think anybody deserves to be put on a pedestal the way that these people have done so with him. And so when he did his media tour and he was talking about boobs and butts and losing his virginity, and it was like, oh, this is just a fucking 18, 19-year-old kid who doesn't know like anything. He's just like, yeah, I'm happy I lost my virginity recently. It's like, yeah. Like, so maybe it's maybe when I said Kyle Rittenhouse is the biggest loser on earth, it was more misplaced because it should have been the podcast hosts who were sucking his dick and the fans who were dick riding. Cause it's like, what about this is so grand and amazing that you're going to suck this kid's dick? So I dealt with that side of things a couple weeks ago. And of course, everyone comes out and calls me a lib cuck and lib FC, and I'm a bleeding heart liberal who voted for Biden, and I wear my masks everywhere, and everybody makes every assumption under the sun about me, all because I said, really, like, you guys suck this guy's dick. And then fast forward to today, where I see the opposite extreme. This dude on Twitter, his name is Aiden. He's on Twitter as Anal Man. Yeah, because that's where we're at. The people making news today have Twitter names like Anal Man. He's the guy who went around all of the airport that he was waiting in, taking pictures of unsuspecting people who were either not wearing masks or wearing masks incorrectly, citing like where they were. He was like, all right, San Francisco airport, gate 30. This mother of two had her mask below her nose going on an American Airlines flight. This is now a super spreader event. Gate 35, look at this man who's not wearing a mask at all. He's going to kill people. I mean, on and on, a Twitter thread of like 15 people of this weird, like peeping Tom motherfucker creeping around an airport, snapping pictures of people to rat them out for not wearing masks in an airport where most of the time they weren't even around other people. They were spread out. They weren't in close quarters. It was not mandated. It wasn't mandatory. And he's citing all these fucking rules and regulations of American airports. And people were just kind of like, dude, what are you doing, you fucking weirdo? Stop taking pictures of strangers in public and shaming them like they're fucking murderers because they're not wearing masks. So if there's anything that we've learned this past week with this breakout, none of it matters. None of it matters. Here's what it all boils down to. You should get a vaccine because it will stop you from going to the hospital, being put on a ventilator, and hopefully stop you from fucking dying if you get COVID. It doesn't stop the transmission. It doesn't stop you from catching it. It doesn't stop you from spreading it. But when you do get it and then do give it to other people, if everyone's vaccinated, they won't fucking die. That's why everyone is getting it this holiday season, but you're not hearing about hospitals being overrun, and you're not hearing about entire families being wiped out, because hopefully a lot of them got the vaccine and the booster shot so that they're able to fight it better, and it just ends up being a 2-week cold. So you can get it. You should get it. You shouldn't be mandated to get it. You shouldn't have to get it, but you probably should. And if you don't, you could spread it. If you do, you could spread it. And that's what it all boils down to. You should get it, and you probably should wear a mask. And if you don't, it's basically whether you do or not. States that do, states that don't, places that do, places that don't. We're all in the same boat where this disease is still fucking going on. So to get this bent out of shape about it, to be this fucking dramatic and grandiose about the mask still, when it's like, look the fuck around, man. So you got the assholes on the other side. And he's the other extreme where, he believes Kyle Rittenhouse should probably have gotten the death penalty and, nobody, that guns should never exist anywhere in the world. Bone to pick with both of these fucking people. If you dick ride a guy like Kyle Rittenhouse, or if you walk around the fucking airport taking pictures of strangers, basically speaking down to them as a condescending fucking internet anonymous troll, criticizing them for, calling them like dangerous or careless, or talking about how they're going to kill your children, you're a fucking asshole. Anybody in those extremes, asshole. And the people in the middle are the ones who just get hit from both sides. I got to deal with the asshole like that, snapping pictures of me in the fucking airport. And I got the assholes who are, ready to suck Kyle Rittenhouse off, telling me that I'm some lib cuck fucking loser. It's like anybody on either extreme after the last 2 years, and certainly the last one, I just can't ever imagine being one of those people. I just don't get how your brain works. Like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm going to go take pictures of people and I'm going to put these strangers on blast in the airport. Or you're like, let me hop on the internet and see what Kyle Rittenhouse did last night. What's he going to do next? That kid who with the guns. Yeah, him. That kid's the fucking man. I hope I could be like him one day. I just can't imagine being like that and spending my time. And I guess like on some level, it's like we do it with sports or chicks do it with celebrity gossip. Humans are conditioned to find things that entertain them and they care about them and they get overexcited about them. And then you discuss it and you argue and you debate whether it's TV shows or celebrity news or sports or any of these forms of, get through the day without killing yourself at work. But I think we all like know that. So it's like, yeah, when I'm arguing about the final season of Game of Thrones, I'm passionate about it. But I also know that it's not the most important thing in the world. It doesn't like define who I am. Whereas everybody else who gets caught up in the politics of it all, it actually defines who you are as a person. And that I can't imagine. The people who lose their families because of QAnon, the people who like lose friends or break up relationships because of politics, or let your entire social media, internet experience be dictated by who you vote for, not have the ability to be like, yeah, no, I don't think that kid should go to jail, but it's also kind of fucking weird how much you guys suck his dick. Like not having any sort of perceptibility like that. Is that a word? Perceptibility, perception, perceptiveness. I just can't imagine my brain operating like that. Like if you can't admit that you are so skewed that you would defend Kyle Rittenhouse over anything. If you would, or if you're a guy who's like, no, you have to wear your masks and be vaccinated or you're a fucking murderer. If you can't by now see that you are, the extremes and part of the problem, I just don't fucking understand it. And so the mask heroes on one side and the Rittenhouse fans on the other, like those two sides can always hate me all they want. I'll gladly be stuck in the middle with the regular people. And I'll take it from both sides because every time you speak it's like I've been called, a racist misogynist as much as I've been called a lib cuck pussy. And they seem to forget that. It's like all the Rittenhouse fans were coming at me. It's like, don't you remember like 6 months ago when I was trying to be canceled for being racist and misogynist? And then when the racist misogynist shit comes out, don't you remember that I was like, the bleeding heart over here when I didn't like Rittenhouse? No, they don't care. It's just in the moment. If I disagree with you and the one thing you happen to say, it's a blanket across all that, a blanket statement about you, and I will hate you and we will argue. Fuck those people. So that's my bone to pick. Both sides. Anal man takes the cake though. Rittenhouse at the end of the day, the Rittenhouse fans are terrible. Anal man though, like you gotta get yourself a fucking life, dude. Like truly find argue about sports or celebrity gossip or TV or all the things I mentioned, because running around town playing like vigilante tattletale on airport goers is a miserable fucking life, dude. My second bone to pick, I don't know. I guess the justice system. I don't even know who the bone to pick is on this one. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Ghislaine, Ghislaine, Gallant, whatever her fucking name is. Batshit crazy. From a complete legal novice who doesn't know shit. I think I've seen enough TV and read enough fucking articles in the world in my lifetime to know that there's something off with a trial of this magnitude that was zipped through this fast with this little coverage. And I guess it's not surprising because, it's not even tinfoil hat shit at this point. We know that, the regular rules and regulations are not going to apply to this chick in this story. But I did the 1 Minute Man about it. The prosecution resting after just 10 days. They called, I think, 24 total witnesses, only 4 of which really mattered. Only 4 victims, not including like the most well-known victims who were the focal point of the Netflix documentary. Virginia Giuffre wasn't called. Like nobody who really got the ball rolling on the Epstein situation was involved in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, which seems a little fucking crazy. And I understand. I've always said if it was me, if I was ever a witness or a victim for something like the mafia or high-powered politicians or like this case in the Epstein case, I would probably not go to trial. And I know that's probably that's wrong. And I am an enabler and there might be other victims because of me. And maybe if I did go through that, I would be so horrific. I would say I'll do anything to stop them from doing it to another person. But I don't, my point being, I don't begrudge anybody who says like, I'm not going to take the stand because they might fucking disappear me. Like me and my family might end up in the fucking gutter if I take the stand or give a deposition or whatever. So I get it. I get why it's happening. But the fact that we can't figure out a way to protect those people or provide them safety so that they can testify or they can be a part of this trial, only 4 victims in a case that's so well known because of how many victims there were. The whole thing about Epstein is like there's hundreds, maybe thousands of girls who have disappeared under, his that are connected to him and his web. And we are only talking to 4 of them. And you rest after 10 days. And by all accounts from, courtroom reporters and whatnot, it sounds like the witnesses weren't prepared. They're the cross-examination, they got eaten alive. And then the prosecution rested just as, then the defense rested just as quickly. Probably because they're like, we got this shit in the bag and we fucking know it. So why don't we just put a bow on this and go home for Christmas? But, when you usually these trials of these high profile names are ones that last for months and years. And like, you got to get sequestered and it becomes your life. And the news channels are covering it for months and months on end. And people they write books and they become famous from just being involved in it. None of that with this trial. And again, it's not surprising. It's like, we know what's going on here. I mean, unless they're just going to turn around and be like, no, she's actually guilty. I just can't imagine that after like such a sham of a trial. It feels like it's all being buttoned up so quick because she's going to get off on some sort of technicality or she's turned state and going to give enough information for her to get off, but not enough for them to take down Les Wexler or any of the heads of the snake, but it's like, it really makes you end up being pretty disillusioned with the whole process. Because it's like, they're doing it right in front of our faces now. Like, at least with Epstein, people didn't know. I didn't know what Jeffrey Epstein was until they finally, slipped up and there was enough. I keep pointing to my TV, like until the documentary, until enough people spoke up that, they caught him and eventually he gets, suicided. He gets unalived. So then it becomes news, but it doesn't become news. It just becomes a meme. It just becomes Epstein didn't kill himself. And I think people take more interest in these things when they are conspiracy theories than when they are actual, just hardcore, tangible news. People talked about Epstein because it was this juicy, salacious, can you believe he turned up dead in his cell 2 minutes after getting caught? And that's because somebody put the hit out on him because this is a conspiracy theory. This is some Lee Harvey Oswald, Jack Ruby shit where it's like, we got to get rid of the guy. We have a patsy who's going to take the fall. That's when people get interested. This is just like, and now we arrested his right-hand woman and we need to bring her to justice. And people are like, Epstein didn't kill himself. Whatever. We don't care. Oh, there's no, the trial's not going to be like, no one's allowed in there. It's going to be closed doors. All we're going to get is a couple courtroom sketches and it's over in a matter of like 3-4 weeks. Whatever. Because it's not a movie plot. Doesn't interest us. Fuck that. Fuck that, man. We're talking about the worst of the worst. I'm afraid to even do these videos and these podcasts talking about it. Like, what's going to happen to me? My career disappears. My life disappears because I'm the only one fucking talking about it right now. It's crazy. We're talking about the worst of the worst. People who like rape and kill and disappear like 15-year-old homeless girls. And we know it. And it's on trial. And nobody takes any interest in it because it's just not, it's not entertaining. It's not juicy enough. We didn't make a big enough deal about it, so we don't really care. As you get older and you see things like that, it's like, boy, why have any faith in the system? Why, and that's why I go back to my first bone to pick. It's like, why are you on either side? You're on the right, you're on the left. They don't give a fuck about you. This whole system is just designed to prop up the rich people at the top who want to stay rich and powerful and doing fucked up things, and they want to not end up in jail, and they want to have the power the rest of their lives. So they all take care of each other, and the people, regular people, don't fucking matter. And it's like, boy, if people don't even give a fuck about the Ghislaine Maxwell trial being a complete sham, like right in front of our face, then what can you get people to care about? Unless it's like a juicy conspiracy theory that's fun to talk about. And, it's almost like, again, debating a TV show. Once it's real and it's just like, yeah, we should probably just, have all the victims of this woman speak up because she was just recruiting underage girls for sex work. It's like, well, we don't want to talk about that. Well, let's talk about the boyfriend who ended up dead because did he really kill himself? Because that's fun. It's pretty fucking sickening, the whole process. So fuck all those people. And let's get into our interview now. The Spike Tour rolls on. Friend of mine, Aria, who has been as influential on the internet as basically anybody who has a Twitter or an Instagram account has been in the last decade or so. What she's done with that brand has been absolutely unbelievable. So real good interview with her. We did it a few months ago, so it's a little bit dated, but nonetheless, quality conversation that always holds up. So it's Pornhub Aria on the Kevin Clancy Show on the Spike Tour. It's brought to you by Cuts Clothing. Cuts Clothing, the number one t-shirt company in the game right now. They've got comfortable shirts of all the basic colors. We're talking black, white, tan, blue, everything that matches with your jeans, with your work clothes, with your going out clothes, with your lounge clothes. Whether you want to look good, you want to be comfortable, and you want to have something that matches every single outfit you wear, every pair of sneakers, you want to dress it up, you want to dress it down, you want to look casual, you want to be stylish, you want to look professional, you want to be in a romantic setting, in a professional setting, in a lounge, all of it. Cuts Clothing has you covered. You could close your eyes, reach into your Cuts pile, pull out a shirt. You can wear it in any time, any place, anywhere. Grab a crew neck, grab a V-neck, grab a long elongated cut, a scoop cut, the split hem. They've got some hoodies. They got the long sleeve tees. They got the short sleeve tees. Every time you need to look clean and have a timeless classic look to you, Cuts is the place to go. So go to cutsclothing.com. That's CUTS clothing.com. Use the cutsclothing.com/Kevin. That's CUTS clothing.com/Kevin and get 15% off your first order. Daily deals going on right now. Holiday deals going on right now. Get your soft, comfortable, stylish, timeless clothing at cutsclothing.com/Kevin.
On a weight gain journey?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Okay, so
You shouldn't be on any journey. You're good.
No, I'm like severely underweight at this point.
Okay.
And like everyone who comes in contact with me is like,
Look it.
No, I mean like from this perspective, it's fine. But like naked, I literally look, you're like, oh, that's a nice little boy. It's being Asian. It's my own problem.
I was gonna say it's just in your blood. In
yeah,
your bones,
I just like I literally eat fried chicken.
Isn't that great though? When you have to gain weight, it's like let's fucking
but it doesn't work.
But it doesn't work. So then,
I want it all to go to my face. I want
you want a fat face?
Yeah, I want to look like Selena Gomez. Like, is she on drugs? Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I just want a puffy face.
I guess puffy. Yeah, I was gonna say usually.
I mean,
if
she
you're on drugs,
literally
you're not
her
fat
face is
but-
like swallowing her eyes. Her
Yeah,
eyes are like
she's-
half closed now. I swear.
Most people would be like, I want it to go to my ass or something like that. You want it to go. You want to have a fat face.
Yeah, fat face over everything.
What? Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? Is this this is some other Asian thing I don't know about?
No, but I just feel like big boobs and a big butt on me like is just not like A, possible, or B, like even gonna work.
I can't speak to whether it's possible, but big boobs and a big butt on pretty much anybody's gonna work.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but
that's pretty like tried and
let's
true.
go fat face. I'm thinking about just like injecting fat into my face.
Oh, I need you on an episode of Botched. Oh, that's your dream, right?
The dream.
The dream is to have some botched surgery and have to argue with those guys where they're like, Aria, we can't do it. Like, you'll die. And it's like, no, Doc, give me like,
just fill me
give me
up.
another 1,000 cc's, please, just do it. You have to. And he's
take
like,
it from my knee. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Yeah, I really just want to be like written about on E! News. You know what I mean? Where it's
you are aiming for the stars, girl.
Yeah, but in botched plastic surgery.
Right. It's like I want to be written about on E! News for a horrible mishap. About me being vain and materialistic and superficial.
Totally. I mean, that's my vibe,
The
right?
dream. Yes. I mean, that's the brand.
Yeah, it's just a disaster.
I feel like you must have, you've probably seen it all at this point, I feel like.
Yeah.
Being in the porn industry, being like in the social media and internet industry, probably at parties, probably at events, sex, party, drugs, rock and roll, surgery.
Right.
Like you've seen it all.
I have, yeah.
But also from this weird, you're in such a weird position where you're like in it, but also like an observer of it, kind of.
Yeah, so I always say I'm porn adjacent.
Yes, yeah.
Because, like, I'm in it, but I'm also not.
Right.
So, like, I've only ever...
But you're, like, respected by everybody and known and all that shit, right?
Totally. But I'm, like, really more mainstream than I am anything else. So, like, I get the fun aspects of it in the sense that, like, I get to, like, mingle with celebrities, you know what I mean? And, like, that sort of thing. I mean, the porn side is really fun, too, don't get me wrong. But it's just... I guess that's the side I'm more associated with. Right.
And you, at this point, feel like you're more... Like, we've talked before about how Pornhub has become like a brand name, like Playboy, right?
Yeah.
And do you think that... Because I know people have always been like, when are you going to do porn? Where's your porn? Do you do porn?
I know.
Do you think that you have
annoying.
gotten past that, or no? It still happens like every...
Like, I did an AMA yesterday at the airport because I was, like, trying not to think about dying on a plane. And...
A 1 hour plane ride, by the way.
A 1 hour
Almost
plane ride.
impossible to die on a 1 hour plane ride. There's not enough time for something to go wrong.
You know what? When you're this anxious and, like, brilliant.
Beautiful mind.
Yeah.
You're like
it just,
scribbling
it takes
mathematics
you
on your window
everywhere.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that way you were computing all the different ways you could die and like all that. Yeah, I get it.
I have an app that tracks all the planes in the sky when they're flying. So I could tell the pilot, like, oh, we're going to crash into something.
Right.
Because I have control.
This is Aria.
Yeah.
This is Aria back here. Turn left.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in that episode of Breaking Bad where the two planes crashed.
Oh, yeah, that was really scary to me. Do you know I couldn't watch the season finale of that because I was, like, so anxious from that whole show?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm heavily medicated now.
Okay, to get back on track, heavily medicated.
Yes.
And okay, back to like, so everyone's always asking you about
Yeah, like my AMA, like every second question is like, why can't I find you on Pornhub? But you can find me on Pornhub. I'm just eating corn or like doing something ridiculous. Like I have elf ears on and I'm in a forest blowing a horn, you know? Like
I'm there.
Yeah.
And it's even stuff that some people might masturbate to and be into.
Are you joking?
But you're just not.
Every comment
doing
under
regular.
all of those videos is like, not my proudest fat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
One of my favorite lines on all of Pornhub.
Yeah.
Because there have been times where I'm watching something and I feel that way and then I see that and I'm like, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Like.
You know, you gotta expand your horizons however you
I
do
think
it.
I need to contract my horizons at this point. I think my horizons have expanded too far.
Let me
I've
ask
gone
you
too
something.
far.
Have you ever watched quicksand porn?
Yes, I have. Because of Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer came in here talking about it, and we got put onto that a couple years ago, and that is something. I drew the line at, I don't even really want to call it porn. I don't even know if it was on your site, and definitely not anymore. But where these Asian girls are smushing rabbits and stuff.
Oh, no, we do not allow that.
Yeah. I think it's just called crushing or something like that.
Yeah, we do not allow that.
That is like...
No, that's like a
what-
big no-no
like
on
the
Pornhub.
the people who are into that, like, you know what you should do is put it on Pornhub so that people watch it, and then we like find their IP addresses, round them all up, blast them into the sun.
Yeah, except we're animal lovers, so like the
none of
idea
that
of
shit.
doing any of that to me is like I would rather someone staple their penis to a chair.
Yeah.
You know, than crush a bunny.
I'd rather see that for.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah. So, but to me, quicksand porn is like the most taboo thing I can think of on this site right now, just because like.
That is allowed.
What happens?
Yeah.
Like, it's not sex. They just walk into like quicksand, which by the way, I always thought was a myth, but it turns out it's real.
Oh, no, it's real. But what's a myth? It's not a myth, but like, I remember being terrified of it. Like I was going to like, you know, go to the beach in Jersey and run into it. Like, it's not like a thing
That's not
that
how it
you're
works.
ever going to. Where is quicksand?
Well, that's the thing. I always thought it was a myth. Like what are you talking about? Where is...
Yeah.
It's like I feel like it's in the middle of a fucking forest.
Yeah.
But they go into the quicksand, but they never come out. So you don't know how
In
the
the
story
video.
ends.
It's just like
maybe
it
they're
cuts.
dead. Maybe
But they're not,
But they're
right?
not. They're not dead.
You guys know that for sure,
They're
right?
not dead.
They survive. But do they are they like under the quicksand? Like it's real, but then they save them, they pull them out, you think? Or is it
I
like
have to
some things
imagine-
underneath there that's it's like fine underneath there?
I don't know because I've never been in the production of quicksand porn.
You gotta get on that.
I know that's like my passion, I think. But
You gotta direct quicksand porn. Cut! Get her out!
yeah, honestly, I really envision myself as like a director of porn with like a safari outfit on. You know what I mean? And I really have some solid ideas.
Who's that porn director? She goes by one name. I think it's Mason or something like that.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
She's like a female director who like talks kind of like through it and interviews the girls or whatever.
Okay.
It's primo. It's just good work.
Oh, really?
I was just gonna say I think you could do that.
Yeah, I would rather be like a safari director. You know what I mean? Like a full suit.
Porn though, but
yeah,
a safari.
yeah.
So like with animals in the Serengeti.
Yeah, but it's more of the outfit that I'm talking about. but
You
yes.
you just want to wear the outfit.
like to
Could it
be-
just be like regular LA hotel porn, but you're wearing the safari?
Yeah. Maybe pitch a tent behind me.
Okay, so
A
we
metaphorical.
could just get you a safari outfit, and then
Yeah.
bam, like
Totally.
dream accomplished.
Totally.
Okay, because you
I
can
don't
do
even
that.
need to direct porn. I just
Just you want to wear.
a safari
It sounds like
outfit.
you just want to like Halloween. Boom, you
Yeah,
can be on a safari.
yeah, totally.
Go on a safari.
I mean,
Go to like an African safari.
I feel like it would
Go
be
to Six Flags in
so
Jersey.
extra.
Go to Six Flags, fucking safari there, where it's like, look, it's a fucking pig, and like that's it. But you're on a safari.
Oh, no, I have to go the extra mile.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You are true or false. You are the most extra bitch out there.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel
Facts.
like that's a true statement.
Super high maintenance,
Not actually
but like
I feel like I
persona-wise,
look-
you are.
super high maintenance.
You look and sound it, right?
But I'm not. Like, I could just sit in front of like a bodega and just eat a grilled cheese for the rest of my
That's
life.
good.
You know?
That's a great way to be.
Yeah.
I feel like it's great to look like you're high maintenance, like if we're talking like superficially, you know, you want to look like a certain type, but then be like, no, I can like eat pizza in my sweatpants and like just binge
That's all I wanna do.
binge Netflix until I'm literally like
In a coma.
and like hoarder, like 600-pound life, like stuck in my own house, need to be lifted out of there by a helicopter
That
and
also
flatbed
is
truck.
another dream of mine. I would love to be helicoptered out of the roof of my house.
I would love to get to the point where I have to put money in a bucket and put it down to get the delivery food and pull
The
it back
dream.
up. That is my like goal
The
to
dream.
achieve. Yes.
Yes, I'm fully with you. We should just do that.
Imagine.
We should get a house.
And then you also film it, and that's a show. Like watch me.
yeah,
you know,
so
become,
we get richer and fatter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until we just
Yeah.
check out.
Yeah, I would love that.
When do we start?
I mean, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna be like, let me accomplish a few more things, and then we'll
Yeah,
start
I've
when
done
I'm
it
like
all.
50 or
I'm
some shit.
really- I'm
You're
good.
ready to cash
Yeah.
out. What do you think you would be in this position and would have achieved this level of success if you were not pretty?
No.
There, honesty, I love it. Like a big part of it is I think that people do think like you're a porn star or that you're hot and they want to see you do porn and then like you're obviously very good at like running the brand and all that. But I remember, I mean, everybody's first time like being introduced to you, they get confused and think you are a porn star.
Yeah, so
And if you just didn't fit that profile, I don't know what would have happened.
So I think like my benefit here is that I look very like innocent. I always tell people I look like a baby cartoon. You know what I mean?
It's not like creepy to like
not
be
in a
attracted
creep-
to you. It's not like, oh my God, she
No.
looks like a little like
No,
a
but,
child.
like, well,
but you
I-
look like girl next door. Like,
I'm normal.
yes.
I don't have like boobs out to here.
Right.
You know?
It's not
So-
very like
I'm not-
cliche porn.
No. So I think like that's what people like, and then I reel them in, and then I force them on Pornhub.
It's like some Venus flytrap shit.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you look like you want to watch Pornhub.
Well, I mean, who does?
Do you want a pair of sweatpants? You know? And then I just
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think so. I think the key is to reel people in because you're good looking, and then like swamp them with other
Yeah,
shit.
with everything that you like know and do for real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, engaging shit on social media and like doing interviews and
Yeah.
putting your personality out there, and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is actually worth the follow.
Yeah.
You know?
Although I have a new panic that I actually went into like deep diving with Asa last night. I was with Asa last night.
Mm-hmm.
And we were both talking about how we're both afraid we're catfish. Catfishes? Catfish shy?
It's called catsfish.
Catsfish.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah.
What do you mean though? You're not.
Okay, so like
you're catfishing people?
yeah, like we're both like afraid that like we have this like online persona And then you
not
meet
real
us
at
in
all.
person and you're like, oh, you're so disappointing.
Well, I never got that with Asa only because, like, unless she was putting up a front, like, the whole time when we were doing our show together, she was kind of, I thought she was, like, the same person.
Yeah. It's a really stupid panic.
Well, I guess with her, it's like if people know her from porn and then think that she's going to be this, like, glamorous, sexy, like, all
Yeah.
the time, and then she's just, like, a normal-ass
She shows
chick
up
who
in a
wants...
flannel.
Right. That I can get. But, yeah, I guess that would apply to you, even though you're not, like, performing. It's like you think it's going to be some glamorous sex bomb bitch, and it's just, like, just regular-ass chick.
Yeah.
It's crazier for Asa because she's, like, anal queen, fucking
Totally.
greatest of all
It's so
time.
funny. We'll be like walking down the street and they'll be like, Asa, can I get a picture? And she's like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And she's in like full, like very large sweatpants with
Yeah.
like pizza stained grease on it and a
Yes.
flannel and her
Yeah.
hair's in a bun. And I mean, she's gorgeous, so it doesn't matter. But like,
Right.
it's just, we're both very afraid that we're catfish. Cat's fish.
Yeah, so you feel like you're kind of duping the whole world?
Yeah. I think that's
Kind of
called
are.
imposter
That's like-
syndrome.
I think imposter syndrome is when you, well, what I believe to be imposter syndrome is when you don't feel like you're worthy of the success you've achieved.
Okay, so
which
just-
I very much suffer from.
Yes.
Like, I'm always like, people, like, literally every day I wake up, I'm like, today's the day they just stop caring about what I had to say, and
Yeah.
they realize that they shouldn't have been all along.
I know.
And it's like, it's been a decade where people in my life are like, get over that, dude.
Yeah.
They
it's-
like you.
yeah.
They want to hear
I
from
think
you.
you're good. You're
But
solidified.
I'm like, nope. I'm not talented. I don't think this is real.
I know.
I wouldn't watch me. Why does anyone care?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not hot. Why do people like my photos? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I'm totally with you on that. Not the hot part, but everything else.
do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I just feel like an
Like,
imposter.
I know I'm hot, but whatever.
Yeah, gorgeous, stunning.
But yeah, I think that's actually a sign. Anybody I know who is successful in this world, in this game, that I like, has a little bit of that imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's
if
like
you don't,
you're just a dick.
yeah. And
Yeah.
actually, the people that, they're the really successful ones, but I'm like, you're nice, you're fine.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be boys. We're not going to be friends.
Yeah.
Because you do walk around like I'm the fucking shit.
Yeah.
And you are, and you should, but that just kind of turns me off a
But
little
like,
bit.
bring it down. a
Yes,
bit. Yeah.
yes. Or
yeah.
at least in certain settings. Like, you
Yeah.
can do that when the cameras are on or in front of strangers, but like, at least with me, like, chill out.
Yeah.
And if you can't turn that off, again, like, go ahead, do your thing, and maybe you need to do that to keep yourself up or whatever, but like, cool out.
Yeah.
Step back a little bit.
Totally, I feel you on that.
Where would you be right now if you didn't do Pornhub?
Oh my God. So
How long you been there? A while now, right?
7 years. Yeah, I'm aging gracefully.
And you are 24?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You started right out of high school?
Yeah, fresh out of kindergarten.
Had an internship in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, I so when I was 21, I graduated university and I had a
I love how you
neuroscience
Canadians say that. I graduated university.
college
Yeah.
for you idiots. And and I had a degree in neuroscience, which sounds very impressive, except it's the world's most useless degree on planet Earth.
Still
if you
difficult
don't-
subject matter, though.
Yes, but if you don't take it all the way up the chain of command, like,
Totally.
you're fucking useless.
Absolutely. If you learn how to do like neuroscience shit and then you like just tweet pictures of yourself in sweatpants, stupid idea.
Right.
It's like I got an MBA.
Yeah, my bubby hates me.
The fuck am I? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
So anyways, I was writing my
hang on.
MCATs.
So you were ready to be a doctor.
So I was writing, your MCATs is like your test that you take to get into med school.
Yes. I'm not that big of a stupid idiot.
Well, you know.
Is this the
There's-
agent in you, by the way? Wanting to be a doctor? Was that supposed to be like your parents, your
Yeah,
family
I
that
feel
made you do
like,
that? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And it's like a 3-tier test. And I wrote 2 parts of it. And then I was studying for my 3rd part and I had just turned 21 and all my friends were like, let's just go to Vegas. So we went to Vegas and I was like, I had like an aha moment where I was drinking tequila, like, and like
As it
at a
tends to
strip
happen.
club. And I was like, I don't want to be a doctor. Like, what am I
Wow.
doing? And then I just decided not to write that 3rd part.
Holy
And
shit.
my family was so mad.
I bet.
Yeah, and then
Did
they're like, "Oh,
they-
now you're Pornhub Aria."
Oh,
Great.
I can't even imagine that one.
I'm such a level of disappointment that at this point, anything I do, like, my mom has been so like, about
Yeah.
everything. But then,
I exactly know what you mean.
that like
right
deep
there.
sigh,
Yep,
like a guttural
yep.
sigh. And then I was in Forbes. And then I showed her like the article in Forbes, and that was the first time she was like ever proud of me. Like she literally like printed the article and then showed her friends because she was like, I can't tell them anything else.
So you have mommy issues is what this comes down to.
Oh, I have all of the
All
issues.
the issues, mommy,
Issues
daddy,
available
aunt,
to
uncle,
me, I've acquired.
You got them all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand that if you were. So had you passed the MCATs, you then would become what, a resident, and then do that for like 10 years before
so then
become.
you go to actual med
Oh,
school.
that's to get into med school.
Yeah.
So you really weren't like. I mean, you were on the track, but you weren't like knocking on the door. You bailed pretty early.
Yeah.
But they thought that you were going to do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, no one wastes their
What kind of
time.
doctor did you want to be?
A
Neurosurgeon.
neurosurgeon.
Yeah. Gee, I mean, it's like the hardest
Like,
of doctors.
literally the
I want to
number-
operate. When people say it's not brain surgery.
Yeah,
like, you
I
wanted to do
literally,
brain
yeah.
surgery.
I was like, I want to be a brain. I wanted to like,
chop open
just
skulls.
fuck everyone up.
I mean, that's probably one of the furthest things you can think from porn and Pornhub and social media and all that.
Yeah, I'm a huge disappointment.
No, but I mean, I got like a small taste of that with this, and like, my parents were always just kind of like, just make money. Like, I just need you to be successful at something so that you can provide. They want you to be happy and all that shit, but like, you need to be able to pay bills and like live your life and have a family and all that shit. So if you can, if they were like, we'll trust you if you think you can make more money over here doing this.
Right.
And obviously, being a doctor or something is a little more prestige, and like people are proud of that in a certain way. But like,
pretty fucking cool.
yeah, it's not
It's
quite
like
neurosurgeon,
the same
but
as brain surgery.
pretty much, maybe
I like
maybe
that.
a half a rung
Quote,
down.
wait, write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so did you ever like? After that one decision in Vegas, that's all it took? You never were like, wait a minute, I was being silly in Vegas. I'm going back to
No, because I
class.
also had interned at a hospital, and I was interning in like oncology, which is like fucking brutal.
Heartbreaker.
And this like poor sweet boy who was disabled had a giant hole in his throat because he had throat cancer. And I literally, like, I was so unprofessional. I was with the, like, main doctor, and I remember just, like, walking out being like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I get that, though. It's better to figure that out then
Yeah.
than after you've spent years and tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on it to
Yeah.
just be like, I don't want to be around death and be in control of people's fates and all
Yeah.
that shit. Like,
I'd rather just be in porn. Yeah. It seems easy enough,
So that they were probably legitimately, like, mad. Yeah. Was there any like, shunning, or it was always like you're welcome around, but we're
No, I
mad?
mean, I'm
yeah,
like-
it wasn't like don't come to Christmas
My
or
mom
whatever.
loves me.
What do you guys celebrate? You're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Hanukkah.
Yeah.
You don't
sure.
you don't get to do Christmas ever.
No, I've never had Christmas.
Why don't you just do it?
Because I don't know what to do. What, do I talk to
Oh.
Jesus?
No. Jesus has
Hey,
nothing
Jesus!
to do with Christmas.
What is
Are
Christmas?
you kidding me? It's
What?
about Santa.
Right.
You got Jesus is, whatever. What would you? Let's run through
Wasn't
it.
it
I'm
Jesus'
sure you could.
birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically.
No, cool. That's fine.
But it's Santa's.
Special day.
Yes,
It's
his
Santa's.
anniversary. It's
Right.
Santa's anniversary every year.
Right.
On Christmas.
Right.
So what would you do if you're celebrating Christmas? Tell me, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. What was the first thing you would do?
Like, this is a guess. This is based purely on Home Alone. But I would have a giant tree. I'd be
Yes,
really
check.
rich in my house.
Sure, from porn.
Yeah. I would have a cheese pizza. Because Kevin McAllister.
Not
had
exactly a tradition, but yes, you can.
one. And then would
incorporate
fuck
that.
off to Florida. Isn't that Christmas?
Oh,
No?
We got to work on that. We got to work.
Okay.
So you have a tree, you decorate it, and then you got. I mean, were you gonna buy presents and shit? No.
Right. Mhm.
You gotta buy presents
Yeah.
and get presents.
I get the present.
Yeah. And then you put them out on Christmas Eve, and you open them up on Christmas Day.
Right.
But you would go to Florida.
Yeah.
See, when I want to do
I
Christmas,
hate Florida. That's how. That's
I
like,
want to do when I do Christmas. I want it to be cold and snowy and fireplace.
Right.
And robes on the couch, watch a movie. You want to be in Florida on the beach.
Yeah.
See, that says a lot about you, and that's why you're a bad person.
Well, I mean, I truly. There's no state I hate more than Florida.
It's the worst.
It's the fucking disaster.
I mean, you also have to separate like South Beach from like the Panhandle. but I think it's all like.
No, even South Beach.
Yeah, do you like?
Like, put on shorts that fit. You know, why are you all walking around with your like ass hanging out? Like, is that a style? Meanwhile, I really shouldn't talk because I've been walking around the streets of New York and I'm like, what is happening? Like, there's not one good outfit.
Yeah, you're into fashion, huh? Mm-hmm. You're here for Fashion Week?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, are you, so when you put out the sweatpants and all that shit, are you involved in that? Like, designing that, picking it out?
Yeah. It's like a really long process.
Did you start that?
I mean, we have a team.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in general, whether it's the fashion or photo shoots or videos, interviews, whatever, are you like told here's what to do, or are you like a part of the process now?
Yeah, I'm totally part of the process.
Like
I have my
input
feet
matters.
in like, in marketing, in, like merch stuff, everywhere. You kind of have to be everywhere because like you have to know what's going on so that you know how to market something.
Absolutely. So if you're going to be the one to push it, you got to know how to push it, and how to push it means what does it look like and why it looks like that. And all this shit.
So we're coming out with a new collection soon, so that'll be cool. And it's like going off of the sweatpants, which were like hugely successful. Didn't I send you? Do you like them?
I do like them.
They're really good.
I like the black on black the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like
There's
subtle.
going to be more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So did that officially drop?
No, not yet.
Still got that inside. Yeah.
But it will happen. And it's dope. I'm telling you.
If I had worn that to this interview, would you think that's a lame move?
No, I would have actually appreciated that. My manager was
Chose
like, "You're
poorly.
not wearing Pornhub outfits," and I was like, "That is so cheesy."
Well, that's what I thought. If I wore it to this, it's like wearing a shirt to the band. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just so cheap. Like, what? You know?
Right. Well, I would have felt the same way. Like, look, it's your shirt. I'm wearing it.
I know.
It's like kind of like a simp move.
Yeah,
I'm a
not.
simp though, so I
yeah,
guess it
no.
works.
Yeah, that's gross.
What do you like simps?
No.
No.
That to me is the biggest turnoff.
What do you think of
Tinder.
this? How do you define a simp though?
Like, basically a submissive person.
So
You're
you-
just like constantly chasing after.
But couldn't that be also described as like, I'm just like making you happy and like trying to accommodate and be.
I mean, in theory, that's like
empathetic and
wonderful, but I
You don't want
really no.
you just want someone to be like, shut
I'm
the
like
fuck
an
up.
extremely detached person.
What the
so-
fuck does that mean?
Like,
It's one of those phrases that's like, what does that mean?
it means that I have no emotional connection to anything or anyone.
That's a lie.
It's not though.
You're- what,
My
you don't have
therapist
an-
is like, you are the most detached
You don't
patient I've
have
ever
an
had.
emotional attachment to Asa?
I mean, I do, but
Yeah?
like, I would be fine if she was like, I don't want to be a friend anymore.
Do you? No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I had a dog. He died.
Were you upset when he died?
Yes. Okay, this doesn't apply to animals. I'm not a sociopath.
What would happen if, God forbid, something happened to your family?
Yeah, it
Oh
would
yeah,
be
you're
upsetting.
never mind. You
It would-
detached. You crazy bitch.
It would be upsetting.
That took you way too long,
but,
and that was like no answer.
No. Hang on. Wheel it back. I would be upset, but I would be able to gather the pieces and move forward eventually.
Well, so would most people. It doesn't mean you're not like emotionally attached.
I don't know. My therapist, I go with what my therapist says. She says I'm very detached. It's something I have to work on.
How long have you been in therapy?
Like my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go when you were a kid?
Yeah. My parents got
think-
divorced and they forced me. Yeah, I was
How
that kid.
old?
7. Also, by the way, I
you're
super
crazy.
didn't care. I didn't know why I was going to therapy. I was like, I don't give a shit that you're
Like,
getting
I'm
divorced.
detached.
Yeah.
You really were like,
Buy me, like,
whatever,
stickers, you know what I mean?
Like, I don't care that my parents don't live together. See you later.
Yeah. What do I care?
I'm detached.
I can watch TV.
Yeah,
Just leave
I'm
me
hoping
alone.
for that myself. Like, my kids are getting older now. I'm gonna be to the point where it's kind of like, why aren't you guys together? I'm like, as long as
Do you have
as
a
long
good
as it's
relationship with your ex?
possible. Yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah. So it's like we're fine, but there's always the question of like, why don't you live together? Or
Right.
like it would be better if you did, or like why can't you come? All that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always more just like curious. It's not like, why can't you come? They're just
Right.
like, why aren't you there? And I'm just like, I gotta go to work. Or I always lie. I always say work.
Right.
There's gonna have
That's
to come a
probably
time
the
where it's
wrong
like,
move.
I'm just going home because
This
I
is
have
my house.
yeah, because I'm not welcome at that thing or whatever,
Right.
you know. But as long as there's like snacks and an iPad, they're good. So I'm
Yeah.
like, do we really have to do this conversation?
Probably not.
Can we just push it off until
No.
you're at least
They'll,
a
like,
little bit more emotionally
Watch a
mature?
show where parents are divorced and they're like, oh, that's
Yeah,
me.
there's a book and
Yeah.
I hope they're like every kid, like everybody in class is gonna have that. I'm like,
Yeah. And who's
Are you-
married in 2021?
well, you know what? I'm always told that like Yeah, don't worry. Like, there'll probably be so many kids in class who have divorced parents. And then I'm doing drop off or pick up at school or I see a thing. And all these motherfuckers are walking around happily married. I'm like, I'm going to need some of you to break up. Because I can't be the only one.
Will.
So
They will.
somebody.
They're all having affairs
and they're all
with
going to
their
do it when their
secretaries.
kids are like 11 and then they're really fucked up.
Yes. Like, yeah.
I was like, we should do the split now because like they're young and we'll just figure it out and that's all they'll ever know.
Yeah, I feel like it
They're the ones
probably
that are
wasn't your
fuck-ups.
call, but yeah. Probably wasn't your call.
So Pornhub now, like I said, has become like this brand.
Yeah.
And I mean, is like the work done though? Like, obviously within that framework, there's more to be done. But like, do you think you have made Pornhub the new Playboy, the new #1 name brand in sex? That's like
So
more
I
than
think,
just the URL. You know?
Yes. So I think it's at a point now where it is super mainstream. Like, I'll never forget this. This was like a crazy DM. I got a DM from Jonah Hill. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. And he's like, what you've done with the brand, he's going to kick my ass for this, but what you've done with the brand has been so incredible. Like, you've turned it so mainstream. It's like a style now. It's not just like about the porn. And I was like, oh, that's how I know we've done what we wanted to do. But like, there's always work to be done. We can always do better. We're like super into charities. Can't say the word philanthropy.
Okay, then don't say it again.
It's really hard to pronounce. I'm French.
It is.
It's not my fault.
I thought it was philanthropy. You keep
It
saying
is.
philanthropy.
Because,
You know what I say to make myself sound more important? Say documentary.
oh, lovely. That's
And then
lovely.
people go like, is that how they say it? And it's not, but if you say it with conviction, they go, wait, is it documentary?
Yeah, right. So I like mispronounced like mostly everything because,
Because I'm French.
well, yeah, because you learn something in French and your emphasis is totally like completely different than English. So it's so hard to figure out where you put the fucking emphasis in English.
You hit that fucking right, though. Is English your second language?
Technically, English is my first language, but it's illegal to speak. It's basically illegal to speak English in Montreal. Like, you have to be bilingual. So you're just
Bilingual? So you do say a lot of dumb shit.
bilingual.
Bilingual.
No, pronounce the fucking word. Bilingual.
Lingual. It's not lingual.
Yeah, bilingual.
It's definitely not lingual.
Can someone do a check on this?
I mean, yes. Let me check my brain. It's bilingual.
Okay. You're American. You don't count. Your brain doesn't work.
I don't count.
Bilingual.
Okay, you know what? I was kidding on the check.
Lingual. I feel like you just did a comedy bit because you talked about how like you say things wrong and then you said a bunch of things
Yeah,
wrong.
this was all intentional.
That was fucking, yeah, you're either really dumb or brilliant.
I'm really brilliant. Yeah. That's right.
Say some shit in French.
No. I hate when people do this.
Say some like porn shit in French.
Oh, that's the hardest.
I thought French was supposed to be like the sexiest.
Yeah, it is. But you really don't do this to me.
What if I look up a title of a Pornhub front page video and you say it in French?
Okay.
Let me find
Fuck.
a good one. Well, this is perfect. Girlfriend, sensual, sucking dick, and doggy fucking in the forest.
That's a mouthful.
I'll give it to you again. Girlfriend, sensual, sucking dick, and doggy fucking in the forest. One more time to gather your thoughts. Girlfriend, sensual, sucking dick, and doggy fucking in the forest.
Okay, ma copine va baiser dans la forêt et sus mon...
Forest.
No, I already said forest. Sus mon cul, I guess.
It's pretty hot. There is something about French that, maybe it's just because they tell you that, but I do think a French
By the way, you
accent
could
is
have,
like,
I like maybe didn't even.
You could have said
I could
like,
have said anything.
I'm a
like,
neurosurgeon.
get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you know?
like I hate this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd rather be on a plane than be in this interview right now.
Yeah.
Take your word for it.
Just kidding. But no, but I did say it, I think. Someone will call me out on it for sure if I didn't. But I did. Pretty sure.
So you're not very good at French.
I'm really bad. When people tell me to like speak French on the spot, I get very nervous. Even though like if it was in a social setting and I was just talking in French, everything would be fine. But the moment somebody asks me to,
What if I ask you to say something in English? You good on that?
yeah, but I still need to think about it. You know what?
This is over.
You and I are done professionally. So you're cool with Asa, right? That's like your ride or die. I feel like Reiley Reid, you're friends with, right?
Totally.
Do you have like a girl gang that's like your Pornhub like ride or dies?
Yeah. So like I would say my best friends in the industry are obviously Asa, Reiley for sure. I love Janice Griffith. Who else am I like super tight with? Lana Rhoades.
So like Lana, when someone comes up like that, because she's new, obviously, or not now, but like when she did,
She's not
she
even
was-
in the industry.
Right. I mean, she was flash in the pan there for like less than 2 years, I
Yeah.
think, right? And 18, like young. Are you like, as like a brand ambassador or something, do you like reach out and be like, yo, your shit's like popping, you're going viral, you're like the next sensation, like want to get to know each other? Like how does that girl get in your crew really?
So, I would say like she uploads her stuff to Pornhub. She has a profile. She has a porn star page. She sees that her numbers are climbing to the top of the ranking or whatever. And then from there, she obviously wants to market herself. And the only way to market yourself is to kind of befriend me, right? Because like I'm going to promote you on social, like get you out there. So at first it becomes like a very like kind of sucky up relationship, and then I can sift
they
through who's
initiate,
just like
though.
using me and who like actually, yeah, of course. I mean, I'll reach out.
Of course. I mean,
but I
everybody
mean-
starts knocking on my door.
I'll reach out to like some who haven't reached out to me who just don't care. And then that always works too. But a lot of the times people, I mean, when you have like almost 13 million followers, people want,
No doubt.
that exposure.
And you're like the gatekeeper of that. If
yeah,
you
I'm
decide who
mommy
gets,
Pornhub.
you decide who gets on and off. Like, can someone tell you what to post?
No.
I'm just curious. Like, if someone was like, we want this girl or this guy to be like focused this month, and you don't like
yeah,
this
like
shit.
my bosses can be like, let's focus on them. They're really climbing the ranks, and then I get in touch with them, and then you know what I mean.
But
That's
if for some reason you were to not like that person, not want to promote them, who has final say?
well, I just don't promote them. I guess it's me.
You.
Yeah.
You do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so you have a good radar for like who's a nice person and a friend that like is actually
So
interesting and
yeah, I mean,
you know.
all of the girls are like very nice people, and they all work really, really hard. I think there's a huge misconception about sex workers, and they're just like getting like railed on camera for money, but it's not. It's
Well, they are.
so. I mean, yes, but it's not. Like they work so hard. They work way harder than any of us.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like
And I would say to a person, mostly girls, I've met many guys, but so to a woman, all of them are like the nicest and coolest people I've met in the industry.
100%.
Like none of them are like will blow you off.
No.
None of them are rude.
No.
All of them are like really in touch with like reality.
Totally, 'cause-
And maybe that's also I have met girls like Asa who are like.
well, Asa's like
you know.
a different human. She's
Yeah.
a different caliber of human.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are probably some who maybe are in the industry because of like trauma or something bad, and maybe it's not quite the same. But everyone that I've met and dealt with that is doing interviews and entertainment and all that are my favorite the guests that I've met. And
Yeah.
it sucks that there's like a stigma or sponsors and brands sometimes don't get down with it because I'm like, you're missing out on like the best people, the
Yeah.
most. Whenever I talk about Asa, I'm like that girl with her brain, her job, and so then her perspective on life, it's truly one of a kind.
Totally.
There is not one other person on the planet who's as smart as her, who's met as many fringe weirdo people, as many entertainment, rich people, poor people. This, like her.
She's extremely well-rounded.
Her brain should be like dedicated to science when she's gone because
Totally.
there's not one other person in 8 billion that I think can be like, I know what
she's
she's
an
like.
incredibly unique person, and she's like so smart. And it's funny because we have very different views about a lot of different subjects, and she'll like basically opposite views on everything. And I'll say something, and then she'll be like, you know what? It's funny. I don't agree. And then we'll have like full debates about the dumbest shit, like the dumbest shit, like pineapple on pizza. We will sit there for hours.
That's why our show worked when she was on, because
Yeah.
we can just talk about the littlest things, but treat it like so important.
It's like we were talking about like finding like the sixth sense. You know what I mean? Like you would think that we were like cracking open books and like
Right.
publishing
Just
shit.
a couple of porn bitches.
Yeah, just a couple porn bitches
But that's what I mean. Those
Diner.
people have been the best conversations,
Yeah.
the most engaging, the most
Yeah.
intriguing, like the friendliest. They ask questions back. They take interest in us. Always friendly to my people here. Like
Yeah.
I hate when people come in and I can tell they're big timing, the producers, the cameramen, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what's the point? Like,
because they're, they get off on that shit. And
I
it's
know, but, like-
I'm bigger than you, or
oh,
I'm,
okay. I feel like
fuck off.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too that I love about porn stars. It's like, you're gonna try to big time me? Like, I do like 800 billion views. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah. These girls are the most recognized in the entire world because
Mm-hmm.
everyone who's like, oh, I don't watch porn is like a big fucking liar.
Yeah, fucking right.
So I love the people who are like, oh, I don't really watch porn. I'm like,
When do you think that became a lie? Because at one point it was true. At one point, girls probably didn't watch porn, right?
yeah.
Like in the 50s, did they? In the 60s, in the 70s?
Well, we actually
The
did a
date
thing
way
with
back.
Museum of Sex where
saw that, yeah.
where like it was like archival porn from like way back.
It was like
Charlie
black and
Chaplin
white.
style,
Yeah, it was like.
and they were all, like all these women, I mean it was like contraband, but all these women were like loving it and doing it. And so we haven't changed that much evolutionarily wise. Like, you know what I mean? Like
But,
we're all
but
horny.
societally, we did. So like
Yes.
I think even just like a few decades ago.
but you're asking who was watching porn. I think everyone has always been watching porn. I just don't think
I don't
people
know
are
though,
comfortable.
because it's so accessible that now everyone is. But if it was like back when it was magazines,
Please, everyone would go to like a store and go reach for the top shelf just to look at boobs, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We were all doing that. Or like in where I am, there was like a show called Bleu Nuit, and you would just like, it would be scrambled and fuzzy, but
Did you do that?
if you saw the nipple, you were like, I can go to bed.
I had like a cable box that if you went channel up, channel down, channel up, channel down, it would kind of freeze the scramble.
Yeah.
And it just became black and white porn kind of.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there.
Yeah, and you're like,
Had that both. I was like, it's like rubbing your head and patting your belly. Like,
Yeah.
But you did that. You were doing scramble porn.
I mean, what choice did I have?
Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I guess whenever we talk about scramble porn, I'm usually talking with guys. Girls are doing scramble porn too?
Yeah.
How old were you when you first watched porn?
Legal. I was legal.
She's a
I was
professional,
of age.
folks. She's
18
a professional.
is when I first signed on to looking at porn.
Did anybody in your town, because this I feel like is a guy thing,
Okay.
box of porn in the forest?
Why? Okay.
It's a thing.
That's a thing, and I don't get it. Why
It's
the
either
forest?
a thing or you've never heard of it and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So one of
and
my
when I
best
find
friends,
people who don't
who's a
know
guy,
it, it's great.
Yeah, always talks about like when he was like in his late teens,
Mm-hmm.
like 18 and over, he would go into a forest and
look at the big
at
box of porn.
porn with his friends. And I'm like,
Yeah, I was probably with him.
yeah, like what? Why the forest?
That's where you gotta
Why
hide
with
it.
your friends? Like
You gotta hide it.
there's got to be a better place.
Where?
Behind
where.
a Home Depot in a parking lot.
That would have been a fine place, but I feel like that's prone to be stolen by a Home Depot janitor.
But you're not leaving it there.
Yes, you are. That's the point.
Oh, you leave the porn in the
Yeah.
forest and you go back.
Yes.
Do you bury it like a
No,
time bomb?
It was always in a box that we just kind of put like a top over, and it was like you would. I know, like I guess there was an original person who did it, right? And then would show your friends. So then I would be shown, and I'd be like, okay, you make like a left at that rock, and you go over like the forest, over the like the
you'd make,
river,
like, a
and then
map.
like a
That's
little
cute.
X marks the spot.
Right.
And then like sometimes rain would fuck it up, obviously, but you tried to like waterproof it. And I think people would kind of donate
these
to
were
the cause.
magazines?
Yeah, they were magazines. And it was like, I remember the two guys. Jason was his name, and his brother Jeff was a couple years older. He showed him, his younger brother showed me.
He's probably so mad you're calling him out.
Yeah,
right
we'll be about the last name. But it's funny because I remember, like, I'll never forget those two. They're the most important guys in my life because it was
Yeah.
like, let's hop on our bikes. And it was also one of those things where it's like, you go to your friend's house and it's like, he had a dope pool and a big backyard, basketball hoop. It was like, you want to do that? Or you want to go to the fucking,
Yeah, you wanna
let's
go
go
look
watch
at
porn in the woods.
boobs.
And it's kind of weird because you're all together and like, it was before like actually jerking off. We weren't doing anything. You just wanted to look at it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like everybody had like whip their dicks out. But that happened to me, so I thought it was totally normal. And I get here and I'm talking on a podcast, I talk about the box of porn, and half the people would be like, oh, word, I got one. And then other people were like, what?
Yeah.
You had like communal porn in the woods?
Yeah, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so I think you have to be like a certain age. You just coughed. Do you have COVID?
I do not.
Okay, cool.
We're good here. Everybody takes care of it here.
I just like got a surge of panic as I heard you cough.
I choked on my spit.
Oh, I do that every day.
Do you?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
Constantly choking on my own
And
spit.
my idiot co-host Feidelberg tells me that's not a thing.
Where is that idiot?
I don't know. He's not here today. He's a fucking moron.
I literally
Every day.
every day. Or like I'll be talking to somebody, I'm in a serious conversation where I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and then all of a sudden I just choke on my own spit and they're looking at me like, what the fuck just happened? And I just have to pretend like it didn't happen.
And sometimes it's like a fit, you know, like if it's a
No,
good amount of it,
yeah.
you're coughing like a dozen times at least. Where it's like,
Totally.
let me leave the room because I basically have to like throw up to fix this.
But wait, have you ever had a conversation? This used to happen to me in high school all the time with like my crush. I would be talking to him and I'd be like so fucking nervous. I'd have like body odor sweat because, you know, like you were so nervous. You were like
Your
turning
adrenaline's
into
kicking.
a skunk.
Yes.
Where you were like repelling people.
Right. You're gross.
Yeah, no, I'm disgusting. And my gum would fall out of my mouth.
Oh God, we got a guy here. His first ever TV hit. He like got on to talk about the Chicago White Sox, just like a post game, like, well, tonight they couldn't hit the fastball, Jim, and it's funny. Everything you just described, he did. He took a shower prior. He said the shower didn't take. Just didn't take.
Okay, I don't know
Didn't-
what that
Yeah, it just for a guy.
I was, like,
for a
young.
guy, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Okay.
So like you get out of the shower and you're still sweating. Maybe it's too hot. The water was too hot. So you're drying off. You're in a rush. So you're putting on your clothes and you're still sweating, right?
Right.
So let's just watch this. This guy, and when you'll take one look at him and you'll be like, oh yeah, that shower didn't take.
I love that expression.
And like Buster Only and all these guys.
I mean, look at him. This is his big moment. Look at him.
It's like,
Oh my God.
I was at softball in Lincoln Park. When,
Look at that gum.
John Heyman and Ken Rosenthal started tweeting me, and all of a sudden my phone's blowing up.
Does
like,
he not
I'm
feel
looking
it?
at my phone in between
I don't
meetings
know.
and
It's like an extra
meetings,
tooth. It's crazy.
and, like 3,000, 4,000 followers later, here I am, and I'm on CLTV with Walter Payton. You know, Walter Payton's son. So
Oh, he's figured it out.
Well, first off,
I mean, it's an all-time.
Yeah, he
like-
looks like a sweaty mess.
Yes, that's post shower, post like my best effort, and I mean he's like one of the guys here now. He's like obviously owns it and laughs at it.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's fucking
that's
brutal.
you.
That's brutal.
That was you to your crush on that level bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I was also hormonal because I was a teenager, so like who knows? I don't have BO now, thank God.
Thank God.
You know Asa doesn't have a BO gene because
Yeah,
she's like
she just
super Asian.
She doesn't need deodorant or
No,
anything.
there's
right?
like a gene when you're Asian that some of them get and you just don't get BO.
specifically Asians.
Yeah, it's an Asian.
Anybody else can get that or no?
Yeah, everyone else has BO.
No, I mean, can other people get the? Can an Irish person get this gene that you don't
No,
have
it's specifically Asian. And I didn't get it, but I also don't ever smell anymore.
You're also
thank
like
God.
fraction Asian, right? Or no?
Yeah, like minimally.
What's your other makeup?
Oh my God, I'm a mutt.
Everything, right?
Japanese, English, Russian, Ukrainian.
You got a good mix. You're a very
Yeah.
pretty girl. It
Thank
all
you.
works very well.
Thank you.
So if there was porn in the woods, would you? I have yet to find a girl who did porn in the woods.
No, that's not a thing for us.
For girls.
No, we're like
Like, how did you get your porn when you were? All right, scramble porn.
scramble
Were
porn.
you like sneaking into the basement at some girl's house watching? Like, you stole your
Oh
dad's
no,
porn?
you know what I did? I remember. I have a vivid memory of this. I used to go to this girl's house, and I didn't know it at the time. I would always leave with like a monster headache, but it was because they were hotboxing the house. So I was like, "Hi."
The kids you were hanging out with?
No, their
The parents.
Yeah, they were like hotboxing
Wow.
this house, and I
So
had
they were the cool parents.
Yeah, except it wasn't that cool because I would leave stoned, and I was like 11. It's not cool.
A little too early for that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, as I got older, I would go to their house, and I realized that I was getting stoned, and I was fine with it.
Then it's like, yo, can I come over?
Yeah,
Like, hey, I'm
exactly.
busy, but can I just like come and sit in your
just, like,
basement?
smell?
Yeah, let me just breathe in your house for a little bit.
Yeah. So then when we got a little bit older, and by older I mean again legal, we would go on those like chat rooms. Do you remember the chat rooms? And I'll never forget this guy. I also developed super late. Like I was like such a loser. I like was literally the smallest person on planet Earth in like no boy wanted to touch me.
Isn't that kind of the best? Like, not then, looking back on it. It's kind of like there's a viral tweet out there that has like a zillion retweets that's like, it's something along the lines of like,
It sucks to peak in high school.
no, more just like, it's better to be the ugly duckling because now I have a personality and I'm hot now.
Yeah.
And it's worded much better than that. And it's
And
funny,
it's funny,
but it's
everyone,
like
like,
you get
I
a
know-
personality, you learn how to be funny, you learn how to do all the things because like you don't have the fucking red carpet as a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And then you get hot later and you're like, oh, well now I'm hot and I'm cool.
Yeah.
Whereas the girl who was hot when she was 10
Looks terrible.
and she looks terrible and she sucks.
She sucks.
Because she never had to make friends. She never had to, you know.
But they're also they have nowhere to go but down.
That's it.
You know?
Yep. You're just always like, it's always all downhill from here.
Totally.
It's gotta be weird when you're like really hot when you're young. I
Yeah.
mean, I handled it very well myself,
I'm
but
sure,
it was
yeah.
like, you know, I wasn't the hottest. I was like right there though.
Right.
I think that's strange when it's like, especially for a girl, because it's kind of like you have to kind of know.
Yeah, of course you know.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like,
you know.
I was always
I'm gonna
popular,
ask you this
but I was
because
ugly.
you're a fucking straight shooter. Like, a lot of hot girls you talk to, they're like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not hot. Like, it's like you're fucking hot. You know
Yeah.
you're hot, right?
Yeah.
You look in the mirror, you're like, I know this is what society deems to be pleasant looking, right?
Okay, so that's where the cat's fishing comes into play.
Okay.
So like categorically, I know I'm not hideous, but you look at yourself and then you like look at people's reaction and I'm like, there's no way that they like I really look like this. And I'll ask my friends, I'll post a photo like before I post it, I'm like, is this what I look like? And they're like, yes. You're not like fooling anyone. It's not like
Yeah.
I filter my photos.
No,
or
I was gonna
anything
say,
like
it's
that.
not like some people do, you know, there's a Khloe Kardashian picture where it's like, you look like a totally different person.
Yeah.
That's not you.
I don't do that because I'm deeply afraid of somebody coming up to me and being like, "You're Aria." You look
Yeah.
so that's like my biggest, like number one thing.
Are
So
you Aria or Aria?
So I'm Canadian.
You
so
say
I
it
say
back and
Aria.
forth.
But when I'm in the States, I always say Aria because everyone's like, "Oh, hey Aria,"
But your name's Aria.
but my name's Aria because
So why don't you just tell people, no, it's Aria?
I feel bad correcting. It's like an American versus Canadian thing.
But it's not really.
It is because you guys say pasta, we say pasta.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous. Let me have a bowl of pasta.
Yeah.
How about
And
you
that-
get out of my restaurant, idiot?
Yeah.
What do you say, the Italian plumber who you play video games with, you know?
Mario?
Yeah, Mario.
What do you say?
Mario.
What do other people say?
Mario.
Okay, but so that's the same
Right.
emphasis.
So-
emphasis.
so-
emphasis.
Emphasis.
Yeah.
It's actually pronounced emphasis. It's like emphasis.
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 Okay. Are
Emphasis.
you having a seizure right now?
It's emphasis. That's how we say it in the
Emphasis.
States.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it. You're leading me astray right now. I'm gonna like have all these new words to show off to people, and you're
Definitely.
like, you're not pronouncing
Do not say
one
emphasis.
Of those. Yeah.
No. We don't say that. But I get like every time I say Mario, what are you saying? You're saying it
So, but
wrong.
then why do you say
Kill yourself."
Aria, but you say Mario?
I say Aria because you told me your name's Aria.
Okay, so we
now,
can
and
fuck
don't get
with
me
Aria
wrong.
then.
When I saw it, I thought it was Aria.
Yeah.
And then you said Aria. I'm like, that's your name.
Yeah. So like all of my American friends have adapted to Aria, but I just feel guilty being like, oh, it's
You're
not
changing,
Aria.
like, yeah. Okay.
You know?
I mean, now Mario's different because they say, well, listen to the way he pronounces it. He pronounces it with this Italian accent.
Yeah, it's too hard
So I'm
to
not going to say
decipher.
that because I don't have an Italian. If you were to come in here with a
But
crazy French
Wario-
accent, I wouldn't do that.
Doesn't he say Wario?
Well, that's the problem. That's where the argument. That's where I lose because I should say Wario,
But it's
but
not.
no one
I
would say
know.
Wario.
Yeah, that's weird.
If you said Wario,
Yeah.
like jump out a window.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
also
saying
have to say it
pasta.
with a certain type of vigor,
Wario.
vim and vigor.
Yeah.
Wario. You have to
Yeah,
really.
it's Wario.
Yeah, you
Because
really
he's
gotta-
like this big bad persona.
Yeah, I
you
was
know?
always Raccoon Mario.
Oh yeah. When you
I had a Game Genie, so I always cheated.
it says a lot about your character.
Yes,
You take the shortcuts.
always.
Did
If
you
it's
cheat
a-
on tests in school?
I'm sure. I don't remember.
Like,
Probably not. I was a very good student.
I would cheat on tests and I'd be like, no, that's not right.
Right.
Like I would know the answer, I would do it. I would look at your paper for fun.
Yeah, I'm
If I
sure.
needed the answer, I would cheat off you, but I could also be like, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm still looking at your paper because why not?
Yeah, totally.
It's like-
but no, like cheat codes were my thing. I love like easy ways out. I don't like working
like people who are
or
like
stress.
the journey is the reward or whatever the fuck
Fuck
that
off.
is. It's like no.
No.
Get me to where I need to be and
The
get the shit done as
destination.
yes. Yes. And
Totally.
like I
I'm
don't
also like a quantity over quality person.
Okay.
Like, I would rather go to the Cheesecake Factory and have a million
One of
kind of
everything.
shitty plates
Yeah.
than go to, like,
A Michelin star restaurant
exactly.
and get like the
like,
duck.
Get like a little, like, shrimp. And you're like,
I actually, I'm gonna invent a restaurant, open a restaurant, and I'm gonna call it. I was gonna say something about One Bite, but I can't do that because of Dave. God, he ruins everything.
Why? What?
But what I want to
One
do,
bite?
yeah, his thing with his pizza, he always says he's gonna take one bite. One bite,
Oh.
everyone knows the rules.
Okay.
But what I want, like, I want to go and get like 10 appetizers, but I don't eat all that much, so I need like one mozzarella stick with one chicken finger, 2 buffalo wings, like a sampler platter, but even smaller and more quantity.
Yes, I
like
fully-
one nacho. I need like
yes.
one nice nacho.
No, I mean,
one of
nachos,
everything.
that's my limit. Like, I would need at least 10. Because sometimes you don't get all the flavors at
Well,
once.
so also the restaurant world needs to redo nachos where you make the nachos individually. You don't just throw everything on the fucking mountain
That's
of
very
chips.
time consuming.
Well,
You're
gonna
increasing
have
the
a fucking-
price of nachos
Well,
substantially if you
I'm
do
gonna have
that.
some. I'm gonna have some pride in my nachos.
Okay.
Where it's like the round chip, and you put like a slice of cheese, a little bit of meat, a little and then they're all made that way.
Okay, I would support that business.
And then so.
I would do a swipe up on Pornhub for that business.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
You invest in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you rich?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah.
Are you you're financially set?
Yes.
Do you are you into sneakers and shoes? Yeah, what are you wearing here? Balenciagas?
No,
What are
McQueen.
those? If there was like a what's your limit for how much money you'll spend on a pair of shoes?
I'm not a
high
huge
heels.
shoe person.
Okay, what's your
I don't have
bags?
a
You like
limit.
bags?
Yes, I love bags.
Will you spend like $5,000 on a bag?
Yes.
Will you spend $10,000 on a bag?
No.
7,500
Yes.
for like a major bag or like
7,500 even to me is like, what are you doing? Because I think no matter how much money you have, there's like a limit as to how useless you're being.
I agree. Like
You know?
like if I were to get rich, I still won't buy a pair of sneakers that's like thousands of dollars because I'm
Yeah.
like, this is just dumb.
It's
Even
so
though I can
stupid.
afford it, it's just dumb.
It's just so stupid.
What kind of car do you drive?
A Land Rover.
You rich, you rich. Is it yours?
Yeah.
Yo, you rich, girl, you rich. And it's like Canadian rich. Is that more or less rich?
It's less rich.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're a broke bitch over here. But
Yeah,
but
totally.
back home,
I can't
you're like,
afford your nachos here.
Yeah, American
no way.
nachos.
There's no
shot.
way.
That USD.
But Canadian nachos,
Yeah, you know what? You could tell me that Canadian nachos are some wild ingredients, and I would believe you.
totally.
Like it doesn't sound
well,
like.
we invented poutine.
I don't even know what poutine is, to be honest. It's like
Are
a
you
cheese
joking?
thing, right?
Wait, it's fries, gravy, and cheese.
Oh, I
It's
didn't know that was
bomb.
called. I call that disco fries.
Are you being serious?
Mm-hmm.
Disco fries.
That's what they call it at the diner.
Fries.
Cheese fries with gravy.
They call it disco fries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm suing. I'm sending a lawyer's letter.
That's a very
Blasphemy.
diner thing. Like
Disco fries?
yeah.
Come up with something better at least.
It wouldn't be like at a nice restaurant they say disco fries. They would probably say poutine, but
Yeah.
but like when I go to the diner late night, cheese fries with gravy, then I mix together mayo and ketchup and do that.
That's gorgeous.
Oh,
yeah.
it is. to die
It
for.
needs to be like a beef gravy though.
Okay,
beef.
like a thickness to it.
Yeah, it's gotta like if you put it in the fridge, turn into like a jello. You know?
Very appealing.
Yeah. Sexy.
What is your favorite drunk food?
Ooh. Pizza, I guess. You?
I don't really drink anymore.
I don't drink either, so that
Mm-hmm.
was really hard for me.
Back in the day, pizza
Yeah.
and White Castle.
We don't have White Castle.
Have you ever had
And then
it?
I tried White Castle on my like no joke final year of high school trip to New York, Times Square.
Oh,
Really wonderful.
yeah.
And I tried White Castle and I was like, this is White Castle? This is the most disappointing shit ever.
Were you drunk?
No, I was
There's the
in
problem.
like, grade 11.
There's the problem. Oh, right, not legal.
Right.
That's another thing you guys do stupid. It's 11th grade, not grade 11.
11th. Oh, because we say sec 5, which is secondaire 5, which is,
Okay, you lost me.
okay.
Enough, Madeline.
Right.
You lost me. White Castle, exclusively drunk. Like if you have that when you're sober, I think you like burst into flames. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It's also just like very square. And I'm like, what's the point of that?
Well, what about Wendy's?
I fucking love Wendy's, but there's
They're
a
square.
Wendy's across from our office that one time got everybody on the floor sick because they all went to Wendy's. Also,
Was it the lettuce?
they're dudes, so they're so stupid. They're like, we didn't get food poisoning. We're just all coming down with
we
the stomach
all
bug."
happen to get it from the same place?
They were all on the highway driving back to their houses. They left early and they all puked in their car. And I'm like, what point
At the same exact time?
do you think like, oh, maybe
But that's a defense mechanism, so that you don't have to write off Wendy's, because then you'll never go again.
well, I haven't been since because I'm
That's
so
what
afraid.
I mean, yeah.
I'm so afraid.
like, that's-
But a number
that's-
6, a spicy chicken sandwich. That sustained
What
me.
you gotta get is something without lettuce. Whenever you get sick of those places, it's the lettuce.
Is it?
Yes.
That's deeply disturbing to me because I'm always afraid at like airports I'm gonna get something, and I always eat salad to be safe.
Why are you so afraid of everything?
I'm Jewish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the interview. I mean, that's a great answer that like Jewish people can say. Like, I can't say that about you, but you can
Yeah.
say that, you know?
Yeah.
But
We're afraid of everything.
it's funny.
yeah. It's embedded in us.
Yeah.
We're just
I mean,
afraid of everything.
I get it. I understand. But yeah, so you're just a mix of everything. It's wild.
yeah.
And if you
Why I'm
have
so well-rounded.
if you have like the typical traits of all these different ethnicities and shit, it's prone to make a wacky person.
Yeah. But like I'm so happy to be me in that sense because it's like at least
Super
I have
unique.
something to say that's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? You are probably top 1% interesting white person.
That's truly is the highest
Right? Like so
compliment.
many of us are so boring. Like you don't have
So
culture,
fucking
you don't
boring.
have history.
I don't have culture. Don't get me wrong. I am the least cultured person on planet Earth.
No, but you have like there's something about you because you're Jewish. There's something about you because you're Asian. There's something about you because you're Russian. You have all these things about you where it's like, I don't know, I'm just American. You know, I'm just
Right, you're
white.
just like a white American.
And like we're not really cool. We can't
no,
really
but you know
dance.
what?
We
You're
don't look
from
cool
New
in
York,
certain.
so that gives you like a big time edge.
That's
if you were
true.
like a white American from Boston, I have never been more disgusted in my life than when I went to Boston because it was like everyone was in a polo and khakis and no one had a personality, and that's what Boston is.
That was great.
It's true though.
Yeah, I mean, it happens with guys and girls. We always post it on our Instagram where it'll be like a line outside of a bar, and every girl has like brown boots, blue jeans, white shirt, black jacket, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're all wearing it.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with a guy, where it's like they all have the same polo on.
It was literally everyone had the same face, and they were all wearing like a polo and khakis, and they were just walking down the street with their really boring looking wives, and like they just all looked like they were like Christian evangelical like freaks.
Yeah.
It was just
That might be a bit much. Evangelical freaks might be where we might be writing fiction now.
right.
But
no, but like just Boston to me is the absolute worst place on planet Earth. Like I would rather like truly go into the center of the Earth's core and heat myself into oblivion than go back to Boston.
So Barstool started in Boston.
Oh, sorry. Oopsies.
Where else do you hate? You hate Miami,
Ew, yeah.
LA?
Okay, so I have a very like weird relationship with LA. I hate LA, and then I get there and I fucking hate it because I'm not like a West Coast person at all. I'm not chill. Like I don't like want to like take in the moment kind of thing. It's just like fuck off. But when I leave LA, first of all, LA is very bad for me because I go to LA and everyone thinks that I am like, they blow so much smoke up your ass and they just like offer you like a tray of drugs and everybody like tries to get shit out of you because they think that I'm like gonna help them in some way. So I end up leaving LA with like the biggest ego on planet Earth, and then I come home and
you
like
ain't shit,
everyone
bitch.
around me is like, okay, you know? So it's like a very bad place for me to go, but it's also super fun. So I do miss it. I haven't been to LA in like over 2 years.
When you say fun, like what do you do for fun? You don't really party, right?
no, but like,
But I feel like you go out. Like I see your Instagram, you're at parties and shit.
yeah, I go
But
out.
you
I go
kinda-
for dinner and stuff. And I don't know, I guess I have like a lot of famous friends.
Yeah, you do.
So it just like,
Who's your most famous friend? You're just telling me who your friends are.
yeah.
Why don't you just show me in your phone who it is, and we'll just get my reaction on my face. And I won't
I
say
have
who
to
it
think
is.
about who it is.
Pick, like, show me 2 or 3, so you don't have to think about it.
But I don't have a list. I have, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I know, but like you gotta have some names.
okay, give me a second.
Yeah, take your time. And this is all because you are the queen of Pornhub.
Sure. That's why.
Is that right? No, seriously. Is it because of this, or like you knew beforehand, or?
Black Bear. He's pretty famous.
I mean, the fact that you put Black Bear on.
Do you want to hear a fun story?
No shade to Black
I used
Bear.
to make out with Mac Miller. Is that cool?
Yes, that
I also
is
made
cool.
out with Drake. Oh, I have good stories. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of where I was gonna end up going with this, but.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are my good.
Drake.
I would say Drake. Yeah.
Because that's a Toronto thing, right?
Well, I'm not even from Toronto, but I actually made out with him when he was like Aubrey, the wheelchair guy from Degrassi.
How did that come about?
So he was friends, obviously, with one of his co-stars who was dating a guy that I knew. So there was a party, and somebody came up to me and they're like, "Yo, Drake loves skinny Jewish girls." And I was, well, he was
But
Aubrey.
he was Aubrey.
He was Aubrey.
He literally was like, my friend Aubrey loves skinny Jewish girls.
Yeah, but he was already like somebody because he was leaving on tour for Europe with Lil Wayne.
Oh.
And he had
So then he's
added
Drake.
me. He added me. Yeah, but it was like brand new, like fresh Drake.
But still, he's Drake. If you're about to go on tour with Lil Wayne,
Yeah, but I think it was like.
Like, was his like a mixtape was out? Like, was he on?
Yeah, like I don't remember because
was-
I really didn't care. But he had me on BBM and then deleted me the next day when he left for Europe. So I was like, I guess I'm not a very good kisser.
How old were you? Legal, 18.
Yeah, no, I think I was like 17.
And he
I was also not very good looking at 17, so I don't really know what he saw in me, but you know,
Well,
whatever.
he deleted you. He didn't see much in you.
That's true. I was probably just the hottest one at the party.
Also,
Slim
I know
pickings.
like he wanted to fuck and you probably didn't, and then that was it.
Yeah, I was a virgin at 17.
Right. When'd you lose your virginity?
19.
Loser.
I know. When did you lose yours?
15.
Really?
I had a girlfriend who was a couple years older, so.
Okay.
And she was experienced.
Oh, good for
So
you.
she turned me into the freak that I am today.
Right. I lost my
But if it
virginity
wasn't for
to my
that, I don't know
ex-boyfriend.
when. Honestly, if it wasn't for getting a girlfriend, it would have been like 23. Like there was no end in sight.
Oh yeah, there was
yeah. no end in
I could have
sight.
gone a really long time.
But
I
for
had a
girls,
boyfriend.
when you decide you want it,
You're
you
ready.
can get it done.
Oh, of course.
As a guy, I was like, I mean, at 15, it wasn't like I was like, I gotta lose my virginity. 15 is not like, you know what I mean? But I would have just kept being, I was very friend zoned by all like the girls who I liked in my grade and shit. And I just don't think it ever would have happened.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, I'd probably be a virgin to this day.
Yeah. I wish I was a virgin still.
No, you don't.
I kind of do.
Yeah, anyone who's a
And then I'd
25-year-old
sell
virgin is weird.
My virginity
Now we're cooking. How much do you think you could get for your virginity?
as Pornhub Aria.
Yes.
Aria.
Like, I think like $1 billion.
I don't think $1 billion, but I think I could get like
But you know what the problem is? It would have to be like a silent, anonymous auction. Because if you were like a billionaire and the world found out that you were like bidding on a girl's virginity, you're canceled big time.
Yeah, that's true. This is probably not like a legal subject,
Okay.
but I for sure could get like I feel $500,000.
Yeah.
Like $500,000.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable. saying $1
American,
million.
not Canadian.
Yeah, of course. Everything in USD.
So you hang out with Drake and he's on Degrassi and shit, and
Yeah.
he's about to go on tour with Lil Wayne. You made out with Mac Miller. May he rest in peace. Where was that?
So I used to work at this company called Vintage Frames Company. That was in Montreal, and Mac was like not really Mac yet. Like he was still, I think Best Day Ever had just come out, and he was like still playing like smaller venues. And he used to come in all the time, buy glasses, and then he would perform or whatever. And
Perform at the store?
no, he would perform at the venue that he was in, but he came in all the time, and we used to just like very innocently like make out and smoke joints.
Kinda cool.
Yeah, and him and Q, his best friend, they always wanted like chocolate milk, which was like so sweet also. So I would just go and get them chocolate milk, and we would like sit and talk about shopping like glasses and stuff like that, and then we would just like make out.
It's cute.
Yeah, it was wholesome.
And how old are you for that?
Like 22.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool as like a cute, like teenage thing.
No, I'm telling you, like no one wanted to touch me.
And he was how old?
Oh, I have no idea. I think he's my age.
Is he?
Well,
Was, but died at 26.
oh, so very
29 today.
okay. So he's actually younger than me.
Yeah, see, I think it was probably maybe a little more normal for him at that age to be drinking Yoo-hoo and kissing girls.
Yeah.
Super weird for you to be like
I also
getting
didn't
Yoo-hoo
know
for little
that
boys.
piece of information. Just kidding.
What's the youngest guy you would hook up with?
I hate younger guys, so I would never hook up with anybody younger.
Ageist.
I love
Ageist
old,
bitch.
dirty men. I
Cut
love it.
that for a clip.
I love like 50-year-old hot men, divorced men who are having like midlife crisis situation. Come to me. I'll be your like.
When you
little-
say like old dirty men, though, you don't actually mean that. You mean like hot, distinguished, rich, clean guys, right?
like, fine, but I take what I can.
Like if you if you went to a bar, dive bar, guy in the corner, like white beard, bald spot.
Oh God, no.
Okay, so
No,
you got,
no, no.
yeah, that's what I mean. He's gotta be hot.
No. He's
Yeah.
got to be like a good-looking man.
It's gotta be like Ben Affleck right now. Oh. Yes. Like those pictures of him like smoking a cig, looking like a little bit like puffy from a bender.
Yes, I
Shirt's a
love
little too
it.
small.
I love it.
Just spilling the Dunkin' Donuts.
Love it.
And that's like you
Meanwhile,
and J-Lo
I'm very
are fucking.
excited to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
You don't have it up there?
No,
Really?
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts is not in Canada?
no, and I want to.
Is it not worldwide?
No, we had one in
I think you're
Canada. It
lying.
shut down. No, I swear to God. There might be like in other provinces, but in Quebec, there's none.
But they're in the rest of the world, right?
I mean, I think so.
Wow, that's a big miss for Canada.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
They fucked
I
up.
love Dunkin' Donuts.
Coffee cake muffin. When I used to go to the Bahamas, they had a Dunkin' Donuts in the Nassau airport.
Mm.
It was the best experience. Better than the trip. Yeah, totally.
Just fly down to get the muffin,
The
and go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
Who's your like dream old man?
I like this question. Who is my dream?
By the way, do you know Justin Bieber? Does he do the Canada thing with you?
No. No.
Sometimes I feel like everyone in Canada, even though it's a big ass country, they're
Yeah.
like, if you become successful from Canada, we're gonna like meet up and be friends.
Yeah, I
like
know.
the Schitt's Creek people and Bieber
That's my
and
favorite
Drake and a Weekend and all that shit.
Okay, so The Weeknd, by the way, is my dream fuck. He's my hall pass. Like, I have tried so hard to slide into The Weeknd's DMs, and normally that works for me. He doesn't even read my messages. I'm obsessed with him. I want in.
I
And I
have
want in
heard
hard.
stories
Tell me.
of him not reading DMs of other people too.
Really?
Yeah.
Other verified people?
So
Upsetting.
maybe you're not. No, I think that's good.
What if he's like T-Pain and doesn't know the verified thing?
Yeah.
Don't get me started on fucking T-Pain, okay? I did an interview with T-Pain at ComplexCon like 3 years ago in LA. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he literally did not stop calling my phone for 24 hours. He had his manager, his bodyguard, and him calling me literally every hour. It was so fucking annoying. I remember sitting on the bed in my hotel room with Reiley, and we were like, we could not understand why my phone
Isn't
was
that
blowing.
flattering?
No, it's fucking T-Pain. Who cares?
T-Pain's awesome.
Okay.
You don't like T-Pain?
No.
I'm gonna buy you a drink.
Yeah, but it's like, you're washed now. Time to.
T-Pain is a fucking legend.
Yes, but like, is he?
You went from like, I'll take what I can get, give me a dirty old man, to like, I can't even show respect to T-Pain.
Well, I respect him, but it was just a bit much.
Yeah, no, that is a
Have
bit
some
much.
chill. Like, don't
That is
fucking
a bit
call
much.
me every hour on the hour.
Did
for
you ever
24
pick up
hours.
and just be like, what's up?
No, I would text back and be like, "Hey, really busy. Catch you later." Like that.
Nothing. Didn't get the
Did
point.
not get the memo.
Well, I think sometimes people who are famous and successful don't get that memo very often, so they don't like settle for that memo or understand what that memo.
I really
is
don't
saying.
care about celebrities.
How many people from like your home think that you're like a fancy bitch who like blows off the?
I don't
All
know
of
if
them.
people think that I'm a fancy bitch. I think, first of all, I think when I started at Pornhub, I got a lot of like judgmental looks from people in my like society, and they didn't understand what I was doing, and they just probably thought I was like some like whore or something.
Yes.
And then over time, they saw the kind of evolution of Pornhub and how it became like super mainstream and really like an awesome brand. And then I started getting respected, and
And fuck that.
and literally anytime that I see somebody that I know used to judge me and they'll be like, "Hey, how's work going?" I'll be like, "Bye."
Good.
You know?
Because I was gonna say the one time you can be a big time bitch is that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm gonna big time you because you big time me back when I was like taking a risk on something. You acted like you were better than that.
Yeah.
And you like, you know, shit on me, and now you want to like get into the party or
Well, that's it. It's like, fuck you.
fuck off.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the most impressive thing about you is that like, or maybe it's not. Did you like? It depends on whether it was like intentional or not. Like obviously you wanted to succeed in what you did or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you had that moment in Vegas, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do this. You said I'm not gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna go do Pornhub, right? You had that on the offer or no?
No.
Okay, so
No.
you just knew not
there
to be a
was
doctor.
like an intermittent middle ground where I was like just getting fired from random jobs.
Okay.
I have been fired from everything.
From everything.
Everything. I worked at a movie theater and I told them that I had diabetes, so I couldn't clean the machine. And they fired me after one shift.
Why would you not be able to clean it because of diabetes?
So I didn't actually know what diabetes
Yeah,
was at the time.
like the sugar's gonna like get on you or
yeah,
something?
I don't
Like,
know why. It just sounded like very serious. So I
They
was
were like, this bitch is an idiot.
totally. So they fired me. I got fired from like a wholesale like clothing company, like
Okay.
that's sold to stores, because I took a nap under my desk.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Very George Costanza. of me.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I just got fired from everything, and then finally, the marketing manager at the time at Pornhub was like, "You would be such a good fit for this because like I made like funny Facebook statuses or whatever, and I took like selfies, and I was like very nihilistic." And he was like, "You would be great for this job," and I was like, "Are you joking? Like that's so rude," because I had no idea what Pornhub was, and I just thought he was like insulting
You're a porno.
me,
Yeah.
you know.
You're a porn star. Yeah.
And then I went in to meet with them, and I was like, oh, this is actually like a really fucking cool job, and like this is a really cool and progressive company.
But some part of you has to acknowledge that it's like you are working in porn, right?
yeah, but I
you're
welcome
cool with
that. I
that.
think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So that's what I mean. So like there was you had part of you was like I'm gonna so back to my first question. Were you like, I'm gonna take this brand and I'm gonna fucking like make it what it is today?
Yes.
Or were you just like, I need a job and this is kind of cool. I need to pay bills. Or was it like, I'm gonna make this the #1 lifestyle sex brand?
so I don't think like I
Ever.
had a vision of how big it actually became. Like I don't think that again, like imposter syndrome, and there was like, I was like,
Right,
there's no way
right.
we can do this.
Right.
But
But you knew there's like potential there.
I knew there was potential, and because I was obviously insecure about taking the job and being the face of a porn company, not actually being a porn star, and like what people would think of me, I wanted to make the brand as like approachable as possible, just because it was my face, and I didn't want like stigmas. And so I think that's what accelerated the whole mainstream
Yes.
of Pornhub. And then from there, I was able to cultivate these relationships with people and build outside of just the porn brand, you know? And that's where it really like just sped off into its own thing.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, it's like super impressive. And I think it's like pretty, I don't want to say admirable because that makes porn sound like worse than it is, but
Yeah.
like, because it's not like the end of the world to be in porn.
No,
but
totally
it
not.
takes
It's a real
like,
fucking job, and it's really hard.
no, but it also has a stigma and has a connotation and will probably close some doors for you and will make some people in your life leave or whatever and fuck those people.
Yeah.
But it's still something you have to
I'm sure,
take
yeah.
that on, and you were like okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of like that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's like,
Is it like because you like, are you into porn, or is it just like, I don't care what this, I just don't care about stigmas? Or is it like this specific one doesn't bother me because I like porn?
No, because I actually had not been like a huge porn consumer when I started. Like I remember they were dropping names of like major porn stars, and I was like, yeah, no,
Sure,
for
totally.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I'd be like, who is that?
Yeah. Did you become a porn consumer because of working at Pornhub?
The weird thing about my relationship with porn now is that because I know so many of the people in the industry,
hard to, like,
it's
watch
very
them.
hard to watch. Like if an Asa video shows up on the front page, I literally have to close my eyes because I'm like,
That's your friend.
yeah, I can't.
I don't watch her anymore. It's weird for me
I can't watch her.
Yeah.
I can't watch Reiley.
Yeah.
The only one that I know well enough and can still fully appreciate is Adriana Chechik.
Because she's just such a fucking savage.
She's
just the
just-
goat.
She's just,
What do you appreciate about her?
well, first of all, she's just really hot.
Yeah.
But like she's just an unbelievable squirter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like takes talent. She's just like not afraid of anything.
Yeah, she does it all.
She does it
We were
all.
just talking about her on the show the other day.
She's like, "Oh, you want to fist my
the things that I
asshole?"
said.
Sure.
She was like, put your dick in my ass, and like only a little bit, and then she popped a ball out, and then another ball out. I don't even know what these balls are.
Yeah.
She had 2 balls and a dick in her ass.
Yeah.
What?
She's just
She's
a
the GOAT.
fucking world-class champion.
She's just a world-class fucker. Like, that's what it comes down to.
She's just incredible. You know what's funny about her? She won't watch her own porn because she's disgusted by her.
Good. You know what though? Like, good, because you know what that tells me about her? That she has like some awareness, that she knows this
She
shit
knows
is
that she's
so she
like
just
the
goes
dirtiest
to a
girl.
place.
Yeah.
And then when she's done, she's like, whatever.
She's also
whatever.
like incredibly smart. She's like a very
Where does she
interesting
live?
person. LA.
LA?
Yeah.
We gotta get her in here.
Yeah.
Would she come here?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta talk to her.
Yeah, she's
Because
awesome.
that's what I mean. The people who can like, it's like, yeah, I'm smart. It's just that I like to fucking have crazy sex. Like,
Yeah.
why would those two things not be possible at the same time?
I
you
know.
So when you, but forget about like, there's plenty of people. You don't have to watch just those fucking porn stars that you know. Do you watch like random porn? Like there's so many couples now and anonymous people that like get big that.
Yeah.
Or is it just work for you? Because I think people always say like whatever you do becomes work. Sometimes I don't want to watch the Mets because I'm like, I gotta like do work.
Right. No, I mean everybody's horny, so you're gonna watch porn to get off, regardless. I mean it depends on like the mood that I'm in. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I can just like bang it out real quick, and like it doesn't really matter who's in the scene. I can know them, I cannot know them, whatever. Except for Asa, she's totally like
Off limits.
Yeah. I cannot get a boner with Asa.
But anyway, to wrap up here, I do think it's crazy what it's become, because it is like there were times where I said that line, Pornhub's like Playboy, and it wasn't really there yet, you know? But it's there. I mean, it really is
totally
there.
there now.
The clothes, and you know what I think really helps? Just doing PH, because it doesn't say porn. Sometimes when it says PH or just the orange and
But
black
you have
logo,
the colors. Yeah, it's very identifiable.
If you were to show someone the orange and black, it'd be like that's,
It's like on YouTube, they have at the top of YouTube, they have like those banners now, and there are colors. And every single time, I'm like, how is this allowed?
Yeah,
like,
that should be like
us.
copywritten or whatever. Yeah.
That's so.
Get
it's
on
literally
that.
our
Why
exact.
don't you do some Legally Blonde shit and like go become a lawyer?
I should.
Why don't you go back to school and become a doctor?
No.
Last question. I know it's like you hate like, do you do porn or are you gonna do porn? You should have an OnlyFans. And like you don't have to do like
First of all,
sexual
I would not
shit.
have an OnlyFans. I would have a model hub.
Right. Okay. Sorry. You should have a model hub page where you can.
I do actually have a model
Do
hub
you?
page, but it's demonetized, and it's like literally just like my lives on it.
Are you allowed? Would you be allowed to
No.
make money? You wouldn't be allowed to.
No, and I wouldn't be allowed really to do porn either, just because of. First of all, I think that it would take away so much of my appeal to people if they actually got to see me naked or like get railed or whatever. Because like also I would just ruin porn for everyone. I'd be like, tell me I'm pretty, you know, like, and talk to the
No,
camera.
you would never
Do you
shut the
think I'm
fuck up.
hot?
Yes, you would never stop talking.
I just like.
Like, give me a bowl of pasta. and
Yeah.
Shut up. Stop talking.
I have to do laundry. Can you hurry up? Yeah.
I think you're right, but two
All
things.
of my power resides in the fact that no one has ever seen me naked.
It's so true. It's
Yeah.
a superpower.
Yeah.
It's like I like it. It's cocky that you know it, where it's just like you walk in a room of people that know you, and it's like you all really want to see me naked. You all really want to see me fuck, and you're never gonna.
It's never gonna happen.
But two things. I think one, you can do. I think you could do monetized content. Well, if you're not allowed to, you're not allowed to.
Right.
But I think you could do it. That's not sexual, like sexy, like flirty, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be you getting fucked.
Yeah.
That people would like. Also, I think it should be like your final act. When you're ready to cash out, just do one big like pay-per-view. Like you all gonna pay like $199.99 to watch this, and you fuck one time on camera and
Really?
and retire.
I
Because you
thought about
could.
selling my underwear online.
Yeah,
few
why don't you do
times.
stuff like that?
I just feel like
Like feet
it's
pics and underwear
so
and like
not me. Like
who cares?
I am like the wholesome side of Pornhub. You know what I mean? Like I am for the people.
But even that, for the people, give the people what they want. Within
no,
reason.
I'd rather just stay the ultimate tease.
I mean, I guess if you're getting paid everything you want, you're driving your Land Rover and shit, you're good. But you could also do that and just you should have like a business manager where it's like, here's my underwear, go sell it. Here's
I
my
do
feet,
have
go
a
sell
manager.
it. Right.
Yeah.
And then it's not even you doing it, so you're not even like crossing that line.
I know, it just cheapens me, I feel.
Such a little bit, but I do feel you.
Yeah.
It's impressive to be like, it's like you're not willing to sell out. You're not
No.
willing to, but
But
If-
it's for
if
the
for that-
it's for the brand. Though.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
willing to sell out because of the last 7 years that I've worked so hard to make this.
Yeah.
Like
A legitimate thing.
Exactly.
Because then
like-
you do just become the girl who fucked like everybody else.
Exactly.
Like that's your differentiator. There's
Yeah.
plenty of hot girls who have sex. You're
Totally.
not.
I mean, I will leave it to the professionals.
But I do think, like, your last.
My last hurrah.
Yeah, if you want to retire at like, you're 24 now. Let's say you want to retire when you're like 35. Just be like, I'm gonna do it
Right.
on a model hub or some sort of like live stream, but you have to pay, and like
Well, you can run it for
all
me.
of those people.
You can just
Like how
set-
many followers on the Instagram account? Like 13 million.
Yeah, almost. I think.
All 13 million will pay for that, and you will make like $1 billion.
How
Do you
much
know how
do you
much money you would
charge?
make? Like you could charge like $200, and you would get so many people.
Yeah, but you get taxed.
Oh
it's really
my
half
God.
that.
It's Canadian money. Who cares? You're
You
crazy.
get taxed.
I don't want to make $1 billion because that means I get taxed like a 400 million.
I don't know. I'm
idiot.
just kind of happy being Pornhub Aria.
Aria.
Well, I'm
What's your name?
Aria.
Then fucking say your name
I
the
know,
right way.
but I'm in the States.
That's crazy. You're crazy. All right. Well, thank you, Aria.
Thank you.
Aria. That's what I'm
Kavine.
going to call you.
Kavine.
Aria and Kavine.
Yeah, that's our show.
There we go.
Yeah.
Are we going to do it or what?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
You just seem very elusive.
I'm not elusive, but I've just told you that I needed to just be like, I got to show up and just talk. Like I can't have to
Well,
I
yeah,
can't have any
that's
of the
what
other
I do
details.
also.
But that's the problem. So you're gonna have to do like the production and the setup and
Yeah,
all
the
that.
production would be someone with a camera, one camera, no
So
lighting.
You got to find the person and do all that.
I'm fine with that.
Then I'm here.
Yeah.
But they have to have like lighting skills to make me look.
Right.
Make sure they bring out all my hotness.
Right.
All right, so be on the lookout because we were talking about doing some sort of Instagram show, Instagram live, whatever, where we just kind of shoot the shit and talk about pop culture and all that. So little Barstool, Pornhub crossover.
Yes, and maybe Dave will finally write me back.
What do you mean?
I DM him all the time from Pornhub. Doesn't care.
Why? What are you DMing about?
I just want to collaborate Barstool and Pornhub.
All right, well, don't worry about Dave. Do it with me.
Yeah, no, I will.
All right.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout. I would say go follow her, but it's like you already do, so
Right.
fuck off. No, but you got your
You can follow
got
my
your personal page.
Yeah.
Aria Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Go follow Aria Nathaniel, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Great stuff. Thanks.
All right, the holiday season is approaching. All I want for Christmas this year is YouTube subscribers.
Please.
We got to get to 100,000. I want that
Please, sir, can you buy
100,000
these
plaque.
subscribers?
We've got a goal for all you out there, for everybody. At 100,000 subscribers, Polly Feidelberg will join us on the show. Maybe. Well, if not, we'll probably have to trick her into it. But at 100K, you will get Polly content. So subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications so that you're always watching. Leave a comment below. Talk about it. Post about it. Spread word. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. 100,000 subscribers on KFC Radio for Polly Feidelberg. Let's make it happen.